All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back and we are here for the matchup of the night at 8:45. It is a banger matchup. We have Pineapples taking on Whiteout, two of the top teams in the rivalry going head to head. I'm Rockerman back in the booth with the one and only Cook and Bagels. And Bagels, after the last series, a crazy Game 5 event, we have another one that'll hopefully go the distance here in rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect it any other way. And the last matchup we casted a few days ago on Saturday, that was kind of at least the matchup of the season for me casting for both of us. That was definitely an exciting
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And I expect this one to not only go the distance, but these are two teams, both 12 and 4, just vying for better seeding at this point, as both of them are all but confirmed for playoffs. Um, and this is just both teams kind of got star-studded rosters, but really Whiteout have been like underdogs the whole season. I guess it's just kind of this vibe. Maybe I'm part of it because I said Snowstorm don't deserve the 1 seed, but Whiteout have some really underrated names here coming out. I mean, I guess besides Crippist, and they honestly could be one of the very best teams in Rival.
Yeah, definitely. So we're running a little behind, so we're gonna get them joined up right away. But I will agree with you there. Whiteout, they have kind of made that a little bit of the underdog run. Not too many people have talked about them, and but they are a very solid team. Both these teams fighting for the 1 seed. In their last matchup, Whiteout did beat the Pineapples 3-2. So Bagels, as we're getting them joined up and ready to go here for Game 1, I want a quick prediction out of you. Who is taking this one? Are the Pineapples going to take this and move a step closer to 1 seed, or do you think Whiteout can pull off the season sweep?
I mean, I think I gotta rock with. I mean, honestly, all my boys on on the Pineapples. I think they'll come back. They'll notch up the 3-2 score line with 6-6 overall in the whole season. I think Pineapples come back and win here. I think it'll definitely be close between these two rosters, though.
I'm expecting a very close series as well, and with all that's on the line for these two teams, it's important that they come out strong here and start things off well. So we'll see how it goes. As here comes a shot, UAC starting things off for Whiteout. They score first.
Yeah, and that was just a misplay and mispositioning from Pineapples. Merely can't find the touch. Squirrel rotates all the way back in the net, but really Valence kind of got caught in that corner looking for boost, but should have been able to push out on the attack to disrupt that shooting. But at the same time, Squirrel rotated too deep, and kind of a mistake from all three Pineapples in that play.
Pineapples, they've been a very solid team, but I know Squirrels talked about they are prone to make a few mistakes, and sometimes the mistakes do pile up a little bit, so they've got to be careful. As here comes a shot. Oh
Oh
my goodness!
my!
It clearly the pre-flip save as he clears it out of the net.
I was in mid pizza bite, and I chose not to take a bite of pizza because of that. That was an absolutely stellar save from Pineapples, but once again, they're putting themselves in awkward spots on defense, and they got to get some sort of transition out. Awkward again. Valence once again going for the boost in the corner, having to find an awkward read. Merely can't find a touch. In the first minute and a half here, Rockerman, the Pineapples are playing very suspect defense, and UAC will find a second one.
Yeah, and despite Valence's best efforts there, this ball still ends up in the midfield. Squirrel a little bit far over and really maybe bumped out by Reiki there. And wow, I mean, what a save there! What a way to start out the series. But even despite those saves, Whiteout still has two early goals here, a minute and a half in, and they're already up, and that could be dangerous here to give a team like this, especially one that you've lost to earlier this season, give them any more momentum than they already have.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they got 3 minutes to work with here to try and change the rotation, try and make some small adjustments to come back and tie it up here in game one. But really, as a double commit being forced out, they haven't even really touched the inner third of the whiteout side of the field. Maybe 2-3 times they got one shot off, but honestly, I can't remember it. And they just gotta work with each other because they're trying individually to try and get across the field, and they got to get some small ball touches towards each other or get the big clears because they're doing neither. They're just touching the ball with reckless abandon. Here it is again, Valence. He gets it off to the sidewall, he gets the boost, but once again he loses possession.
That's the one thing. Once you get up to these higher leagues, you gotta fight for possessions. Oh my goodness, Valence, a snipe. We know this man can shoot, and a great pass out from Squirrel.
Yeah, and ultimately Squirrel just beat out UAC, and that was a great pass. And the final two defenders not ready for the pitch perfect placement of that shot. And this is what I was talking about. They need to transition onto offense together, and that infield clear is how you're going to do it. And if Whiteout aren't ready for that, I'd just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, definitely so. Valence, he is a shooter, and shooters are going to shoot us. Here comes a demo, and here a shooter is
Oh,
Squirrel.
I think it may have been saved. So honestly,
Oh,
that might be really good because now they're keeping possession. The pressure's still on. But I mean, I would need a replay review, and I need to look at that a few times to see if he was making that save because it would have been awful close.
yeah, that one is a little bit risky, and yeah, if they come back to lose this game, I think Squirrel might watch that one back and
Oh,
see,
there
but
it is.
it might not matter as Valence is going to put one back in the net, his second of the game, tying us up at 2.
Yeah, and this is what I was saying though, because now they're starting to work down the field. They've figured out the rotation, the spacing is there. Because the first 2.5 minutes, it was just all over the place for the Pineapples, and really for a roster that's been known season after season to put up insane high shot totals, they're only sitting at 4, but so is Whiteout. So in a battle of the low shooting department, Pineapples just might get away with a sneaky one here, as now they've tied it up. But now the infield pass going Whiteout's way, and they will convert on the transition between each other.
Yeah, a little bit of a kickoff goal here. Krippus, he gets up quick, and Reiki, he's just waiting across the field. No one on the Pineapples even jumps for that one. Just let him shoot it right at the net. Good speed on the Whiteout side.
And just as I was complimenting their rotation and their positioning between each other working out, I was looking back at that replay a second time, and Valence, he drove towards the ball, but he just didn't go. He was in perfect position, and now he makes a mistouch here. And it's just the Pineapples, they've had moments of brilliance, but on the defensive side, when the pace of play starts to ramp up, they lose track of where each other are, or just general decision making overall. It's just very strange coming out from them.
It is strange from the grand finalists from last season making a return with Valence, Squirrel, and this time merely now on this roster coming over from Arrival formerly. And they've had a good season so far, but they find themselves down by 1. Whiteout playing well here, led by UAC with 2 goals in this game number 1. Is here comes Reiki with a 50. Squirrel gonna take it to the corner, trying to dribble it out. Gonna flick it up, trying to take it past Krippus. This ball blocked up in the midfield. Krippus off the backboard and find a touch merely on the 50, but right at Krippus is UAC gonna send it down. The net is open. Reiki just gonna finish it off, and Whiteout looking poised to take this game 1.
Yeah, 27 seconds left, a 2-goal lead. Gonna likely be a pretty comfortable one, but again, I mean, Whiteout, they've done a good job of maintaining the midfield pressure, but all these goals really coming off of mistakes. They had the one really good infield pass play, but even then, Valence should have jumped up to try and disrupt that opportunity. So Pineapples just, they're losing. They really beat themselves this game. Not that Whiteout's played bad, but they've really let Whiteout have a comfortable 1-0 lead in the series here.
Yeah, and as the final seconds are ticking away here, Whiteout going to be taking game number 1 from the Pineapples as they start this one off. As this one might just go all the way UAC. He's going to shut it down and end this game with a 4-2 margin for Whiteout. They take game number 1, a very solid performance from them. Bagels coming out and showing us why they are here and ready to take this 1 seed.
Yeah, and perhaps the underdogs in first place, showing us why they deserve to be here. Definitely played solid overall. Obviously, Krippus has been in rival for many seasons, but Raichi coming down from the lower league, UAC, a challenger player that took a season off. I think he missed out on season 5, but was in challenger season 4. He comes back. He's in rival now. So definitely 2 names that either coming from a lower skill set or haven't been around as long, and they're showing up. They played consistent, they played great, but they didn't do anything that wowed me. It was really the Pineapples just not playing their game. And if the Pineapples can find that high shot pressure, I think they come back in game 2 and they really take it to Whiteout.
Yeah, and Pineapples, they are one of those teams, we've seen a lot of teams like this, but known for their shot totals. And in that one, they only had 5 as opposed to, I believe it was 8 for Whiteout. So, I would say that is probably the key here as we're going to be heading into game number 2.
What has happened?
And we'll have to see. They might have been subbing someone in. I don't think so, but looks like they're all good and joining up here, getting us ready for game two. Yeah, they're baiting us
Everyone's
in the
going for the
lobby
win there.
here. All the teams joined up and all the teams left. So, but now they're in there. So let's get things underway for game number 2 on Urban Central. Whiteout taking game number 1 in a 4-2 fashion. We'll see as they're trying to start out game number 2, but here comes Valence barely making the save, but it's right up to UAC who's dropping it down. Merely has to get to it, and he does. A nice save out from him. This one sent a long way. Krippist looking out for his teammate there. UAC is up, but not a lot of boost. Squirrel looking for the read off the back. We're going to find the touch there. Squirrel, Reiki's all over him, and here comes Merely to Valence. They finish it off, and the Pineapples strike first.
And this play was all set up from Squirrel, getting a good double tap, but really, Reiki, he needed to just dish that ball out immediately. As soon as that ball gets hit off Squirrel, he just needs to flip. It doesn't matter what direction he needs to flip in. And he needs to get that ball out of danger, and he tried to catch it, and that proved to be fatal for him as eventually it kind of bounced its way off 2 players, but Pineapples will score off a great double tap hit from Squirrel.
Pineapples finding the lead here early as a good sign as they attempt to tie this series up. Is this one in the corner? Squirrel. Gonna get it by Reiki, but demoed for his efforts. It's now merely finding a 50. Back to UAC. Here comes Valence. Oh my goodness, Valence! What a shot! This man is making highlight plays left and right.
And you know how many times that he's done this, Rockerman? And not only how many times has he done this, how many times has he done this on stream where both of us are casting? He somehow finds the precision on these redirects by the slightest margin of error, beating out that final defender. And you know what? Every time, I'm impressed.
I'm also very impressed in Bagels. How often do we get a potential save of the season candidate and a goal of the season candidate in the same game? And not only that, back-to-back games, or same series, back-to-back games. How often do we get something like that?
It's definitely not going to happen, ever. Ever. If it does happen, as this one, mistakes coming out, but still will get sent out of the Pineapple side. But I mean, honestly, going back to that save in game 1, as a Titan League player, somebody who's played competitively in the scene in months and years past, that is absolutely at least top 5 best saves I've ever seen. I have no idea how he pulled that off. That honestly should go on the, if anybody's seen the Rocket League FX channel, that needs to be in a montage, that save.
That was a pretty good save. I'm sure we'll be seeing it for save of the season, and now he maybe has a goal of the season candidate there. Is Pineapple's up 2-0 in game number 2, but Whiteout played strong thus far, and here comes another one out in the midfield. Another good touch there this time. I believe it was Merely who got the touch. As Valence is up, gonna send it down. Kripp is finding the block, looking to send it out, but Merely finding that stop. Valence with a demo. So here goes Valence again, trying to stay with it. UAC on the 50s, he's sending it down. Here comes Krippis for the redirect. Too quick for Merely to save. A nice passing play and a Whiteout. They keep finding these passing plays, and they're working out well.
Yeah, and that's the second time it's happened, but also the second time where it was Squirrel this time who needed to be able to disrupt that passing lane, and honestly, it was a pretty fast developing play, so I don't blame him, but that's twice now the Pineapples have been caught out with these infield passing play, and now getting caught out on the kickoff, but Squirrel there for the save. But if they want to hold on to this lead, they want to find a 1-1 series scoreline, they got to get back onto defense quicker, and they're finding it here, but they're not making it look easy, and ultimately, a mistake coming out.
Yeah, mistake comes through here as this ball just kind of lofted up Valence. Awkward touch, tries to get back to it, but a little bit too awkward for even him. And UAC, he's going to capitalize, and they're all tied up at 2 again.
And this time, the Pineapples are the ones who blow the 2-0 lead as Whiteout. 2-0 lead in game 1, but ultimately, Whiteout ended up winning that one. So we'll have to see if that formula continues. But again, the infield pass is coming out right cheek, back post, and top shelf. And that's 3 times. That's 3 times they've been caught out by an infield pass. They gotta adapt to Whiteout's pace of play.
Yeah, these infield passing plays are deadly, and especially when you have placement like that, upper 90, top right, and there's not much for Squirrel to do when they're hitting this. These are very, very solid plays, and now Whiteout, after going down 2-0, they come right back here, and three unanswered now.
Yeah, but I mean, really, I was starting to think the Pineapples were getting their rotation under order. So 50 comes out, but we'll be quite ready for Pineapples right there. I thought they were getting it under order, but now they've been trying to get that high shot pressure playstyle, and it's not happening. They're not getting the high shots. I mean, granted, they're at 6 right now, which is decent, but they're overcommitting. They're putting all this
Yeah.
pressure, and they're triple committing right here. They're trying to get all this pressure going, but it's not proving to fruition, and the overcommits are coming out, which is the result of a high shot pressure playstyle. But they're not even getting the benefit of putting a lot of shots on net.
No, they really haven't. It's here comes another shot, this time from Whiteout. It
Oh
seemed
my!
like barely Squirrel. That one might have been off, but this one is not. Krippus puts it home. A nice banger and a Whiteout. Now 4 unanswered.
But again, all 4 goals this game are getting scored off of a Pineapples player who's just trying to rush back to even be in position to be set on the goal line. And that was it. Right now, it's Squirrel who's been the main offender here in game 2, but really, it's the whole roster that's. It doesn't matter who's last back. You know, maybe they could clutch up and make a great save like Valence did in game 1, but that's likely not going to happen. It's the whole team's fault. It's the whole rotation that are putting whoever's the final defender in such awkward spots. And they were sitting at a comfortable 2-0 lead, but really not comfortable at all because all 4 of these goals have been capitalized off of great infield passes from Whiteout and just catching the final players. They're just not there. They're catching them off guard.
Yeah, now with the final 30 seconds here, Pineapples have to find 2. And they're going to need a miracle as this ball is heading back to their half. Merely trying to get it up, but pre-jumping attacker is able to get the best of him. This one sent back down time. Very crucial here. Is this dropping down? UAC can make the touch, clear into the corner. Unless they can make something happen. The next couple seconds, it might be all she wrote. A miss comes out from Valence, and that is going to do it. Whiteout is going to take game number 2 as well, and they are going to take a 2-0 series lead, Bagels.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm expecting more. I mean, both these teams at 12-4 records. I'm expecting more in series, in game adaptations from the Pineapples. I mean, Whiteout, they haven't had to adapt to anything. They've been playing solid. They've been playing defense. They only had to come up with 3 saves right there. So, but again, Pineapples, they scored 2 goals, which means they only missed 1 shot out of the 6 total they had. So Whiteout, they haven't had to make any adaptations, and Pineapples have been the team that have needed to adapt and try and counter Whiteout's playstyle, and they're just not doing it. But really, Whiteout doesn't have a threatening playstyle. The Pineapples are the ones that are losing this game. They've beat themselves game 1 and game 2. It looks like they're the better team, but when they're overcommitting that much, I can't even consider them to be the better team because it's just very ugly right now.
Yeah, things are not looking too great for the Pineapples at the moment. They did take a lead in that game, so we know that they can play well and they have the potential. But yeah, Whiteout, when you give them opportunities, Bagels, you know they're gonna shoot those passing plays in the back of the net, and I really say we got to give them credit here because they've capitalized on pretty much every passing play that they've set up here in these first 2 games, and now heading into our 3rd game, they're the ones hungry to pull out the brooms here.
Absolutely, and I mean, the underrated team, the lesser well-known names are making a name for themselves here on stream against Pineapples, who everybody knows all 3 players on that roster. But really, like you said, every opportunity that's come their way, they have not missed. They've hit all their shots, all the opportunities where they should score, they have been scoring. But really, at the end of the day, Pineapples are they're trying so hard to create opportunities, and they're just flying all over the place and can't make it back on defense.
I want to see, like you said, if they have some mid-series adaptations to make as we're into this one, and see Squirrel has swapped back to the Octane now. He was in the Fennec, has been in the Fennec recently. See if that helps him out a little bit here. And this one, but a nice little passing play. Infield UAC trying to snipe the upper 90 there. But couldn't quite do it. Is now Whiteout forced to retreat. Squirrel off the corner looking for another
Oh
touch. He
my.
finds it, but that is the wrong way. UAC can't quite put it on net, but still dangerous. Merely he makes a touch. Here comes Squirrel again to 9 it away. Maybe making up for his mistake there.
was an incredible touch, but absolutely not the touch that was required to score. But either way, they able to get back on defense and survive an attack. But again, Squirrel was racing back, having to make a touch, and then Merely had to come by and race it and make a touch. All these saves they're making at the last possible second. None of these saves are easy. And when you're making saves, you want to be making sure that they're not that difficult as a demo comes
Oh,
out, but the
oh.
shot is missed from Raichi, and we'll have to see if that comes back to bite him if Pineapples somehow manage to find a lead here.
And that one was an open net. You don't see this Whiteout squad miss those that often. And that one that Reiki's going to certainly want back after a great demo from Krippus.
Yeah, and really we were complimenting how they've hit all the opportunities they should be hitting, and that was one they absolutely should have. And it's now Valent's getting caught out again, racing back to the last second, and he finds the save, but how many more times are they going to get caught off guard like this and not get punished? And here it is again. It's just every time they get on defense, they're racing back and they're just not making the adaptations, but they could score here, and they will, off of an awkward bounce off the lip of the ceiling right there.
Yeah, sometimes those ones just work in your favor. Here comes Valence, a nice 50, and UAC, he's right on the ball, but Squirrel just a little bit higher to that one, and he puts in the back of the net. And despite all of the pressure here, Whiteout going to find themselves down by one in this game, but still have a 2-0 series lead. So we approach halfway into game number 3. Reiki off the corner. Valence going to leave it for Merely. He takes the boost, trying to send it towards the net. Krippus is there. And Valence, he almost found the dunk. He was right on it. Just a smidge too high. As now here comes another passing play out for Whiteout. Squirrel trying to read this one off the backboard. But 2 players missed that one as it's pinched back in the midfield. Could be an opportunity for a shot merely towards the net. Here comes Valence for the redirect. Oh, it's a little bit high. UAC going to clear to the corner, but only to Squirrel, who's going to put it in the back of the net. The Pineapples, again, to find themselves with a 2-0 lead. The question is, can they hold it?
It definitely is the question, but a great pass from Merely out to Squirrel, who not only finds the power, but finds the placement as well in the bottom left side of the net. And this is good signs from them. When they're on offense, they're making deadly chances. They just got to make sure that they don't overcommit in trying to develop a chance that really can't be converted on. But when they're getting high quality opportunities, they're hitting them. And again, a pass to the middle off of a Whiteout overcommit, and now they're the ones who are in control. But again, they got to do this 2 more times in the series to find a victory.
And we'll have to see. They find themselves with a 3-0 lead. 1:48 left. It looks a lot better for the Pineapples, but we know that Whiteout can score at any time. They can score in a hurry. As UAC send it up to Reiki. Off the sidewall. Here comes Krippus towards the net. UAC waiting to follow. So he's going to set it up high. As Merely going to clear it out. Trying to stay with it. Reiki going to find a stop. This one's sent towards the net. Squirrel putting one on him. Pineapples just trying to play smart here for the final minute and change. As Reiki out in the midfield there, a shot towards the net, and it's still in front, and Squirrel's going to put it in. I don't know how that ball snuck through, but Pineapples will take it.
Taking another look at it here, as Squirrel was looking for the redirect, Kripp expecting it to go in off of Squirrel's touch and bumps his teammate. I mean, really just an awkward play overall, but honestly at this point, it doesn't matter. Just an extra insurance goal for Pineapples that they will likely not be throwing this lead. 4-0 with a minute left, you'd be extremely hard-pressed to find that, although looking for an opportunity here. It will be sent away, but I mean, really, this is just a solid game from the Pineapples. This is exactly what they needed to not only win Game 3, but win it in comfortable fashion. As another great save from Valence off of a pre-flip. That is now 2.
He makes another good one, and the Pineapples looking to lock this one down, but
he tried again.
He wanted another one there. Couldn't have it. Reiki's going to put this one in this time.
Yeah, but, I mean, a mistake coming out from Pineapples in the corner, but really I'm not going to knock them too hard because it's the only mistake they've really made all game. But 2 players there. Once again, it's happened a few times earlier in the series, though. 2 players in a corner, nobody knowing who should get the boost and who should rotate back to net. But, again, haven't really needed to make too many adaptations in this game as they've had complete control of the midfield. Even though Whiteout have 10 shots. Whiteout has 10 shots, but I really don't feel like they've had 10 shots. And there was a great save from Valence a few seconds ago, but that one got saved out, and that was a more threatening opportunity. But really, I don't feel like Whiteout played bad here in this game 3, Rockerman, but Pineapples are starting to play their game as... What the heck?
That one, yeah, that one's gonna pinch right its way through somehow. Squirrel and third turn, then I think Crippus just pinches it in. Hey, that's some speed right there. I respect that one. So Pineapples can add to their lead. But yeah, I think Whiteout, they had a lot of pressure early, and that was kind of where it ended. They couldn't really capitalize here until the very end as they're trying to hit it. Oh my goodness, Reiki almost with a nasty angle, but not going to fall through as we're going to head to a game number 4 now as the Pineapples, a nice solid win here. Another attempt for a reverse sweep. And, you know, if there's a team that's been known to be involved in reverse sweeps, it's the Pineapples. They pulled them off themselves, as we know, last season, Bengals.
Yeah, the famous best of 7 reverse sweep in
Yeah.
semis to make it to finals, who also went to game 7. Unfortunately, could not get the job done there, but we'll have to see if they can come out with another miraculous feat in this series. But really, for a team that scored 5 goals, they only had 9 shots, and Whiteout still outshot them 11-9. And I don't know, for a team that's had this pedigree of having high shot totals, having high offensive pressure, that was definitely what I wanted to see from them in Game 3. But the fact that they won 5-1 and still got outshot by Whiteout is a little concerning to me.
That definitely is. The Whiteout squad has had their high shot totals. This one almost able to start out early for the Pineapples, who are looking to make a reverse sweep happen.
Oh
Could be
my.
our second reverse sweep attempt of the night as here comes Valence high flying and he's scoring.
Sometimes you can just tell when a player's going to hit a shot, and this is one of those moments. I saw this man spinning, and I knew that he was going to absolutely bury this one into the net. And Valence has just been a star-studded player for all of Nemesis, all the way back since Season 2 when he first became a player. And every time he is on stream, he doesn't disappoint, whether it's the defense, the offense. But honestly, I feel like I need to see more out of Merely. I feel like he's been very underrepresented in this series right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Haven't seen much from Merely. He is the lowest MMR of the 3, and we know about Valence and Swirl and their chemistry. But I'll have to see how Merely's going to fit in, and if he has something to say in the last game or 2 of this series. Now the Pineapples holding the lead, and pressure maybe slowly starting to shift Whiteout's way. As this one's sent towards the net, going to be saved away by Merely this time. As it still popped up, Squirrel gonna look for a touch, trying to find it out. Here comes Reiki. Valence can't make the touch. Still bounce it up Merely. Gonna make the touch, and UAC gonna find it. And into the corner now. Crippus can't touch Reiki. Looking to take control as he's trying to flick it by Squirrel, but it's saved away. And Whiteout getting a couple opportunities. Here comes Valence looking to take the shot, but just in time, Crippus able to get back to it. And these two teams kind of taking some shots at both sides, but nothing appears to be super threatening after we saw the first attempt.
Yeah, a lot of midfield back and forth, but a big mistake right here is UAC and Richie both trying to bail out Crippus, who made that unfortunate touch off the backboard, but still pressure on for Pineapples, but will be relieved here is merely slight overcommit. But I mean, really, going back to what I was saying a few seconds ago, I really feel like Merely is the key to this team, because I feel like if Squirrel can just be that support player for Valence and just let Valence be the absolute animal, the dog he is on offense and defense, if Merely can piece together the rotation, make sure that he has boost on defense right there, making the saves. That's 2 saves he's made so far this game. If Merely is playing well, I think Pineapples find success. And he just needs to be a solid player. He doesn't necessarily have to score goals or get the assists, because he can pull out the mechanics as well. He's pulled off double flip resets, the double taps, you name it. He can do it all just like Valence, but he's not getting the opportunities. And if you're not getting the opportunities, you need to find a way to support your team in other areas of the field.
Definitely so. And this game, the Pineapples, they're playing solid. They're holding on to it. Whiteout still looking to try to make some attempts going as Here comes Reiki popping out of the midfield. Valence last man back. UAC just throwing it off the backboard, looking for Krippus, but he's not quite ready as this one is sent away. Is now Reiki taking it to the air. Gonna send it down. He's on the dribble, merely trying to find a 50. This ball blocked out. It's sent off to the side, and Bagel still is. We're approaching about a minute and a half remaining. Whiteout still has yet to score, and they actually find themselves in a slightly unfamiliar position here, as they might get a shot here saved away. But they find themselves down in shots, which we saw they've been leading for most of it. Is this one is an open net going to be capitalized on? Valence puts it in. The Pineapples extend their lead.
Yeah, kind of hard to see what happened with the demo, but really, UAC getting, or not UAC, whoever that was, couldn't see quick enough, got erased off the field in a great demo from Squirrel. And even if that player did make a challenge, it would have been a high 50 and might have even flung off the sidewall into the net either way. But really, yeah, like you said, could be scoreless here for Whiteout unless they find something in the final minute here. But it hasn't gone without chances. They've had 4 shots, but really 2 or 3 of those shots have been extremely good opportunities for them to score. But now they're the ones who are not finding the accuracy. There was a good backboard read that UAC could have put in. He hit the crossbar, and then a follow-up from Kripp. He just sent it off to the sidewall, and that was when it was still a 1-0 scoreline. If they hit one of those 2 opportunities, it's a completely different game. If that demo and that counter never happens, but either way, another good solid performance from the Pineapples. They're not getting it done in the shot totals, but they're finding ways to win, and that's all that matters here. Is they got 40 seconds left.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Is down to the final 30 seconds. The Pineapples looking to hold on as they are fighting for the reverse sweep, looking to force a game 5. Will they be able to do it? This clear certainly helping to stall away the time. Double quick comes through. Whiteout might be their last opportunity if they can go quickly here. Got Squirrel last man back. Gonna pop it up high off the backboard. Follow-up attempt. Squirrel. He's gonna make a nice touch, and that should do it. Any shenanigans here in the final seconds? UAC's trying to pop it up. Valence gonna find a 50. Squirrel taking it back, but that will do it. We are gonna be heading to a game number 5, Bagels. What else would we expect? I was a little concerned when Whiteout started throwing those punches early, but the Pineapples have battled back. A great battle from them, and now we head to game number 5, where winner could just take home the 1 seed heading to the playoffs.
I mean, I don't know who wrote this script. Final week of the regular season, game 1 almost ends, or series 1 of the night almost ends in a reverse sweep. Unfortunately, the Samurai could not get the job done. But we'll have to see if the Pineapples and company could get it done here. We mentioned it. The reverse sweep team, they've done it before. Can they do it again? And they're looking good. They fixed their main problem, which has been the rotation and the overcommits. When they're playing solid, they're spacing out accordingly. Whiteout can't score. And the only way Whiteout have scored has been opportunities that the Pineapples have given them. And we see what happens when Whiteout aren't being given freebies. They're having to make shots. The pressure is on them to make the shot. When it's an open net or a team who's out for a stroll getting a corner boost or double commit, it's so much easier to score. And now the pressure's on them to hit it past a defender in the net, and they're not getting the job done. Merely has shown up big on defense, and the rest of the Pineapples are finding the saves.
Yeah, the saves have come through, and the Pineapples, they've battled back. And now we're heading to a game number 5 between 2 of the top teams in the rival league. The 1 seed on the line. Both these teams sit at 12-4. Bitter division rivals as well. Whiteout, they took the first series 3-2. Can they take the second? Or will the Pineapples find their revenge here? Here comes a shot attempt towards the net. Squirrel, a 50 out of the midfield. Dangerous. Here comes UAC's got the whole net to shoot at. Krippus trying to fake it out. Pineapples panicking in the net, and Reiki puts it in.
And I mean, like I said, the Pineapples there to make the saves, but really, I mean, that fake from Kripp really threw him for a loop. And I mean, really, it shouldn't have, because he couldn't score that. He couldn't do anything with that ball. Maybe they were expecting him to back pass, but the fact that he didn't hit that made all 3 players on the Pineapples just sit within 1 foot of each other, and that really threw them for a loop, and that breaks the scoring drought here for Whiteout, who haven't seemed to score in the past 7, maybe even almost 8 minutes.
Yeah, they haven't scored for a while, but they're back here, and oh my, no way, UAC puts it down, and Reiki finishes it off. I thought he was going to hit that angle.
And an explosion of offense in the first minute
Oh,
with a crazy pass from UAC. And if you're merely, there's almost nothing you can do in that spot. He's come up with the saves so far, but that is a tough ask right there. And they are out shooting Pineapples 6-0, and it hasn't even been 60 seconds yet.
my goodness, that is the whiteout we've seen. And yeah, in the last game, they didn't get their shots. The Pineapples actually led in shots in that last game. And now, whiteout, they're finding their shots again. And see what happens when they get onto offense. 2-0 lead for them in game 5. They look to take a step closer to getting this 1 seed. Squirrel down in the midfield, going to find a pinch. He's trying to take this ball, staying with it, going to pop it up high. Leaving it here comes Valens for the shot. He can't quite hit it, though. What do you think he might hit? He's made so many great shots like that before, but not that time. Tough angle. That one could be one that they'll look back on here. As it's popped up, Valens going to make a clear out. Here comes Merely. He's mechanical as well, looking for the shot, but UAC is there to deny it away. Squirrel spawning back and getting wiped off the map there. Is Merely going to find a demo of his own, but 2 minutes gone by. Bagels and Whiteout, they've got their lead, and they just got to lock down and play solid.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd consider the Pineapples to be in the danger zone right now because Whiteout, they've scored twice off of a non-Pineapples mistake, and here's another one that's going to slip it on the right side. And Pineapples, they need a goal, and they need it fast because now Whiteout, they're not waiting for a Pineapples mistake. They're creating their own opportunities, and they're hitting every single one of them.
Yeah, they really are, and Whiteout, they are looking strong here. They want this #1 overall seed. They're going to do whatever it takes to get to that point. But still, a lot of time left in this game. We've seen comebacks happen. Even in this series, we saw Whiteout. They were down by 2, came back, ended up scoring 4 unanswered. So it's possible as now it's the Pineapples. It's their turn to see if they can score a couple unanswered here. They're going to need it as we pass the halfway point. Reiki on the dribble, Squirrel right back to him. As Valens looking to take this one down, trying to find a 50 up. Crippist and a Whiteout. A double committing there, but they're going to find the pinch anyways as Valens send it down. It's over the top of UAC, but only to the Whiteout corner as Reiki rotates back in net. Valens is up there. Reiki sending it down, but just a little bit wide as he's trying to get back to it. Here comes Crippist, popping it towards the backboard, forcing the double commit, but a pinch comes through. Able to send it down, and still Bagels as we are under 2 minutes remaining. The Pineapples, they only have 1 shot on net as compared to the 9 from Whiteout.
Yeah, and they just got to get something going quick as Merely he can't find it, and that will likely be the dagger from Crip to put that one through. But I mean, even if Merely doesn't end up making this mistake, Whiteout have been playing so solid all of game 5 here. And I mean, really, Pineapples, they had that one goal where they were all clustered on the defense, and they missed one opportunity on the opposite side from Valens, who's been a shooter all series, and a 5th one will go in here, and that is likely going to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, 5th one off the kickoff. You see Squirrel, he just decides, I got to dive here. We need some miracle. The miracle is not there for him this time, and a 5-0 scoreline for Whiteout. And they are looking to take a step closer to that #1 seed. Following this one, depending on how things go, with Lightspeed, the other team who was 12-4, they could have a shot to take this #1 seed. Is still waiting on that Lightspeed result, but with a win here, that'll push these guys to 13-4 with 1 match remaining in the regular season. And if they can keep it up, they will have the #1 seed as they hold the tiebreaker over Lightspeed. So as long as I think that would clinch them here no matter what if they hold the tiebreaker over Lightspeed. So a win here, and Whiteout will be taking home the 1 seed, which, with a minute remaining, Pineapples, I don't know if they have enough miracles. I don't know if the script has enough miracles for them at this point.
Yeah, there's not much that can be done. They're still sitting at 1 shot. And I mean, really at 3-0, I felt like this game was over with how well that Whiteout was playing, and a 6-1 to boot to further cement this victory for Whiteout. And I mean, like I was saying, just at 3-0, Whiteout, they've been playing so well. This is the Whiteout that kind of came out in game 1 before the Pineapples kind of roared back. But we haven't seen this Whiteout for almost the whole series. But when they get going, it's not like they're blowing you away. There was the great pass from UAC down to create that scoring opportunity for the second goal, but they're not blowing you away. They're not flashy. They're just getting the job done. They're there for the pressure. They're there for the 50s and showing why they want this number one spot.
And so why not throw another one? And yeah, just to correct myself there, if Lightspeed loses, Whiteout will clinch the number one overall seed, or they can also clinch it with a win next week or another Lightspeed loss, as this one is definitely all wraps with 23 seconds. But yeah, you're exactly right. This Whiteout squad, they maybe played underdog as they're
They
trying to
even
get the
tried to
Brazil.
give them the Brazil.
They tried to get the Brazil out,
They
but
tried.
it wasn't meant to be. As merely couldn't put it on target. Maybe he saw it at the last moment and thought about it there, as he's going to send this one down. But that is going to do it. Whiteout is going to take this one in Game 5 fashion. They will put themselves one step closer to the number one seed. A very solid performance from them. You got to give them big ups.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a collapse for Pineapples after the 3-0. I feel like they were trying to do too much to try and combat the 3-0 scoreline. But really, it was just such an awkward play for that first goal, and then a really good pass from UAC. There's not much you can do. Maybe if they had slightly better positioning, they could have avoided that second goal. But really, Whiteout just came to play here in Game 5, and there wasn't really anything Pineapples could do about it. They tried to play their game, but the midfield was just locked down, and they didn't have an answer for Whiteout, who they may be the underdogs with the under names. Nobody knows them, but they
Hey,
showed why they need that they have the one spot.
and they may have been the underdogs coming to this one, but I know that a lot of talk has been about Whiteout as of recently. And after this one, I don't think they're the underdogs no more. I don't think they are, but gotta give big congratulations to Whiteout. A great performance from them to clutch up in Game 5, avoid their reverse sweep, keep their cool, and put a little bit of a blow on the Pineapples as they head into the playoffs. But we gotta get going to our next matchup. We're running a little bit behind. We have one more up for you guys on deck. So stick around. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the next matchup as we have Acceleration taking on Diffusion, a battle between two of the teams fighting for that final play-in spot in the Novice League. So make sure you guys stick around for that one. It should be another good one. Hopefully we can have our third Game 5, maybe third reverse sweep attempt of the night. Maybe this one will happen this time. We'll see. We're gonna head to break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes, so stick around, and we'll see you guys in a few.